I never grow tired of that tune. I'm
I
sorry.
don't either. It's just got that certain groove or, that certain way about it that you just can never go
It
wrong.
wakes me up.
So, hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you can be here alongside Jan from,
Hey, Steve. Hey, everybody.
We'll save money and more with Jan. I'm still trying to get away from your
That's
old.
okay. That's my personality name. Jan from New York City is still my personality name.
Right.
But the channel name is Save Money and More with Jan.
Right. So we're here today since Thanksgiving is upon us and not that a little less than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some Thanksgiving alternatives.
Yes.
Some meals that'll help you out. And from what I understand, you've got a nice meal plan set up.
I do. I am going to have two separate situations. One is with a loved one, and we're going to do up a roast chicken. We did the same last year. We're going to do it again this year. That's a separate, easy but fun meal for us. But on Thanksgiving Day, it's not going to be a big crowd, but I decided that I'm just going to do hot, open faced turkey sandwiches, Steve. Those are my favorite. Whenever I go to a diner, that's one of my best things to order.
That's a good
And
one.
I realized, I said, I could do this for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is about being thankful.
Yes.
Right? We put so much emphasis on, oh, it has to be a 25-pound turkey. I don't want a 25-pound turkey in my life this year. I don't want to deal with the mess, the cleanup. This is me. Everybody's different.
Right.
We'll enjoy that. I would never take your joy away from that. But this year, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing the roast chicken one like a week or two earlier. I'm good. So I'm so happy. And so what I did, Steve, get a load of this. There's this really good quality. I don't get a dime for mentioning it. This really good quality deli thing. I believe it's called Dietz and Watson.
Good
Okay.
brand. Mm-hmm.
Right, it's a good brand, right? So I ordered a couple of individual packs. They sliced it. It's fresh. It's fresh from their deli. Sliced turkey slices. I ordered a couple of pounds of that. I'm not going to say that for some people it may be out of their budget, but for me, it is so worth the convenience and lack of mess. I just don't want it. And I want hot, open turkey sandwiches this year. So I ordered a couple of pounds of that. But what I did, I received it early today, literally on this day, as Steve knows for a fact because I told him about it. And I just put the packages in the freezer. So all I have to do is just heat it up. I can make a little bit of homemade gravy. That I could do easily. And of course, all the trim. Still the traditional trim. I got a beautiful this is another tip, Steve, from the fresh deli, not the one that you bake from the frozen section. I got a beautiful, big pumpkin pie
Mm-hmm.
from their deli section. All I did was freeze that, and come Thanksgiving, the day before I take it down, it's ready to eat. I don't have
That's
to
good.
bother. Yeah, I don't have to bother baking that. I mean, there are other things to go with it, but you want to know what the real thing is, Steve? Like I said, it's Thanksgiving. We're supposed to be giving thanks. Why do we put so much pressure on ourselves to have so many elaborate things? I don't know. Some people could do it. Some people can't do it. And there are people in between who like to do it, but then really push the envelope. What do you think about all that?
Well, to talk about the turkey route that you're going, no, you can't go wrong with that. You got the sliced turkey, the gravy, the whole nine, simple. Um, Another one that's good. I'm with you. I don't know how I would feel about dealing with, I don't know about a 25-pound turkey, but in my case, it's always been with my family, it was always around a 13 or a 14 pounder because we weren't a real big family, but an all right size. But yeah, think about something. Then you got to take the turkey after you eat it. Then you got to debone it and go through the time and the trouble and the this and the that. Well, there's another way to go about turkey. Your way is a thumbs up. It's a win-win. Butterball has these little um, turkey breast roast type thing.
I've done them.
Yep, and it's boneless. And you could, depending on how many people you have, you could get a couple, maybe three of those. And you can do them up like you would like a pot roast. You can put your celery, your carrots, whatever you want. It's a
Great
blank.
suggestion. They're amazing.
And you don't, and you serve it. It's delicious. It's got a nice flavor. Very little cleanup, if any. And guess what? You can take the broth. I'm going to give a repurposing tip within all of this, but that's okay in case anybody wants to try it. If you go that route, maybe somebody out there is probably going to do one of those. Take the juice or the broth from that and put it in a container, seal it, put a lid on it, put it in your refrigerator. Of course, any fat or anything will come to the top as usual. You can take that broth and put it over white rice. You can put it over pasta. So you just created another
Yum.
budget-friendly, inexpensive, cheap, however you want to look at it, meal just from the broth. And let me tell you, the broth is very good in that. Put a little Parmesan cheese on top, and whatever spices you want, you're good to go.
Absolutely.
So whenever and you can even do that with a regular turkey. Anybody that's going the regular turkey route, you can keep the juice or the broth and do it
Right.
with that. I personally, now that I just recently turned 50, I'm looking to work smarter, not harder.
Truth.
Yeah, I'm looking for simplicity, not complexity.
No, no.
So if anybody's able to find a way to go about, making things easier for yourself, especially if you're the one that's running the show, the one that's taking care of the main meal, doing everything, setting everything up, don't make it complex for yourself. Make it as easy as you possibly can.
And you know what, Steve? The theme for me this year, the holiday theme, is going to be diner style. So
Okay.
it's kind of like I'm going to be playing around with that, like trying to have things more diner-ish, if you will. And with your hot open turkey, like with certain sides. Like instead of a baked potato, I may decide to go French fries, something different. Everything, it's just going to like be cohesive with, oh, I'm in a diner kind of thing. Just like have fun with it. We could turn anything into a happy theme,
You
and
can.
it doesn't cost a lot of money. It's just like what it does cost is a little creativity and a little bit of imagination. You know what, Steve? I personally, I don't know about you. Do you like cranberry sauce?
Love it.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
great. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I eat the one from the can every year. I like
Okay.
watching it jiggle and slide out of the can. It makes me laugh. I think it's fun, right? I've had the real one from scratch. It is totally delish.
It
But
is,
I
right.
think to myself, I'm just thinking of me, that uses an awful lot of sugar when you prepare it, the recipe from scratch. I mean, a ton of sugar is
Well,
required for that.
if I can jump in, I mean,
Sure. Sure, you
with
win.
my situation having a full-blown kitchen and I'm,
Yeah.
I personally would rather have the fresh
Oh,
bag.
it's delicious, no doubt.
Listen, you do not. I know it's got a little bit of sugar, like you said. You do not want to cut back on the sugar amount on cranberry sauce. The reason why I bring that up, it asks for a cup of sugar. One year, I decided to back it off and make it about 2/3. Don't do that. I say this because if you do that with cranberry sauce, it's more tart.
I was gonna ask you that. Was it bitter? Was it tart, tangy?
It's got a tart taste. So whatever sugar the recipe tells you to put in it, do
Right,
it in that
right,
case.
right,
Um,
absolutely.
I can go either way on the cranberry. I prefer the one cooked, yes, but I also like the jellied in the can. I also like the
Yeah.
whole berry. I'm
Me
not
too. I
particular.
like both. I'll take them both. I'm totally happy.
Right. So I've got three avenues right there. It's like I tell people all the time. I'm not really all that picky though when it comes to food, except for maybe a couple of things, and that's about it. But for 99.8% of it, or however you want to look at it, I'm good. I'm not. I'm not really what you call picky. I'm pretty open when it comes to food.
You know what's interesting? Go ahead, say it.
One little quick thing I was going to throw in.
Yeah.
If in the event for Thanksgiving, if you don't want to go the turkey route, you can have chicken. That's another good
Roast
alternative. You
chicken
don't,
is lovely. Absolutely lovely.
but
Why
if you
not?
don't want to go that route, you can always go whatever route you want to go that fits
Sure.
your pocketbook, your
That's right.
budget. People forget way back in the days of the Pilgrims, 100 zillion years ago. The traditional Thanksgiving meal at the time was fish.
Imagine
So,
fish.
if you wanted to keep loyal to the original, you can have fish. You can actually have whatever you want. I mean,
What does that show you? That flexibility, right, Steve?
you right, it does show you flexibility. So always keep in mind everybody's budget is different. So
Yeah.
you go with what you can afford. I
Also,
always
the
say that.
workspace too, Steve. The physical workspace is different. Not everybody has this wide open big kitchen with huge stoves. Or
Mm-mm.
you got to work with what you have
That's right.
because we're also considering our budgets and all that. Steve, there's something that you and I both do. I wasn't aware that you do it as well. We both share something in common. He and I, we like to add broth to our stuffing
Stuffing.
instead of
That's
just
correct.
water. It
Yeah.
gives it a different consistency or richness. What is it? I love it that way too.
I mean, I will use stovetop stuffing. I prefer Pepperidge Farm. Um, I do like the cornbread. My favorite of all the Pepperidge Farm stuffings, I like the herb seasoned one.
Oh yeah.
What it doesn't have to be chicken broth, it can be beef broth. It can actually be whatever
Excuse me.
broth you want to put in it.
Sure.
What it does is it to me, I've noticed is it helps bring the flavor up.
It does. It just enriches it totally. It's just like a total swap out. And if you don't have broth, you can make a bouillon cube, chicken or turkey bouillon cube, if you have something like that. And you could just make that, turn that into the water, make a little broth from the bouillon cube and add that to your stuffing. And that would work equally. It would be just as good.
Hmm.
You know what, Steve? For me, it's all about the sides more than the actual turkey. For some people, it's all about the turkey. It's totally fine. Whatever it is, it is. But for me, I'm like, I don't care. Like if I want to do like candied yams, maybe with the marshmallow thingy once in a
That's a
while,
good one.
it's have a lot of fun with the pecan pie,
Hmm.
pecan, however way you prefer to say it.
Right, I've heard it
Now,
both ways.
Steve, now, is there a certain brand of pecan pie that you like, that, or is it fresh from the bakery, or
Um, well, if I buy anything bakery wise, I hate to keep coming back to it, but everything they make is made that day. That to what they have out on for people to the customer to purchase, has been made that day. It's not something that's 3 or 4 days old. You're not getting something Publix. I
wonderful?
swear by their baked goods, their pies, their pastries, their cake, you name it. Their breads. I love it. It's a very good, like I said, everything is made fresh right then. And if you go early in the morning, they open at 7 a.m. If you go early enough and buy bread, it's still warm when you grab it.
Nice. Oh, that's really
But
nice.
I am looking to get a pecan pie this year only
Yum.
because I've had all their other pies. I've had their cherry. Their key lime pie is off the chain. If
Wow.
anybody knows, the next closest thing to that is going to be a Marie Calendar. I'm just going to tell you if you really want
Oh
to
yeah. Oh yeah.
know. But I'm going to probably try my hand at a pecan pie. Uh, their pumpkin pie is always good, but you know, there really is no set
No, tailor it to
thing.
your own life. You're very right about that, Steve. Now, for example, I personally love apple cider. Okay, I
Okay.
do. I
Hmm.
don't care if it's the one that's not clear or the one that is clear. Makes no difference to me. I love it heated up. I love it with a cinnamon stick, maybe, or if I don't have the stick, I could put some ground cinnamon. Delish. To me, it spells out holiday. It's the simple things. It doesn't have to be so elaborate. It could be something just like the apple cider, being
Now that
hot apple cider, or
now
even
the
juice
the
works.
apple cider that you refer to, do you like it cold or do you like it hot or either
I
way?
could have it either way, but there's something magical about it when it's heated up with the cinnamon stick or just the ground
Yes,
cinnamon.
it
It's
is.
so good.
Now I do like hot apple cider like in the colder months.
Yeah,
Um,
delish.
you can make your own apple cider, hot apple cider. You can, just get regular apple cider and just warm it up and you got it.
Absolutely.
Um, or you can buy apple cider that comes in a box. It comes in packets.
That's right. Those are really good, by the way. They're very, very
Hmm.
convenient. They're very, very good. Um, it's so interesting about the sides and the dessert. How about the dessert? Besides pumpkin pie, do you have an additional dessert that you might try on Thanksgiving, or
Um,
is that your banana pudding time, or is that Christmas?
that's a good one. Now I've done that. Now keep
Steve
in
makes a
mind,
mean banana pudding. I've seen pictures of it. Believe me.
well, the banana pudding, the last time I did it is when we actually sat down and had, a family Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
No, because I usually make a decent amount. So that's something. The banana pudding is a good one. Let's see
Yeah.
what else have I done? Um, I have done
The
cookies in
cookies.
the past. I've done cookies.
Yeah.
Um, ice cream is a no fail.
You can't lose with ice cream. It's the truth. And a
Right.
really good budget cookie recommendation, those oatmeal cookies like from the Quaker Oats, the one on the
That's the
box.
one I've
And
done
you
that.
you make a good one, great one. And also sugar cookies. A simple sugar cookie is very perfect for the holiday season. It's simple and very inexpensive. Peanut butter cookies.
That's an
What
easy one.
my sister likes to do? She likes to make her peanut butter cookies and put one of those chocolate kisses on the center top. And it looks so,
Oh, that's a cute. Okay, that's a cute
yeah,
idea.
they're so delicious. Really, the sky is the limit when it comes to the Thanksgiving holiday. And the
I
main thing of all is to be thankful.
I have done the peanut butter cookies. Now, I'll tell you what I do when it comes to cookies. Yes, I know how to make the Quaker oatmeal bottom of the lid.
Yeah.
But if you leave out certain ingredients, you leave out the cinnamon, the brown sugar, you leave out a couple of three of the ingredients that it takes to make oatmeal cookies, you just have the basic shell of the cookie batter.
Right.
You take that, the same recipe for the oatmeal cookie, but leave out a couple of three things and add a couple tablespoons of peanut butter, and you've got peanut butter cookies.
Bingo.
You
So
got it.
you're doing a swap out and an
Yes.
elimination, and it's still inexpensive.
I'll tell you another cookie. You mentioned sugar cookie. I have another one that I like a lot, a snickerdoodle.
Oh, yeah, I do those. Those are great.
Yeah.
Snickerdoodles are good. Yum.
Which is basically a sugar cookie, but I think a little a one step or two steps
Kind of like
further.
expanded, kind of like different texture. Yeah, and pretty easy actually. They're fairly easy to make.
Oh, the snickerdoodle.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think so.
Hmm.
These are the joys of the holidays, getting together with family. And even if you're just a family of one and you're sitting at your dining room table and because maybe you have family that's really, really far away and you happen to be far away, you just sit down, you're just grateful for everything and enjoy your meal and sit there in peace. And that's what it's about, in my opinion. It's not even my opinion, it's really factual.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving is about giving thanks. I
it
think
is.
you have an awful lot to be thankful for, don't you, Steve?
Oh, I do. Well, I mean, one thing to be thankful for, even though it's not just specifically on Thanksgiving, always be thankful that, you know, thank goodness that we're able to go to sleep at night and then the good Lord gives us another day.
That's right.
That's that right there
So
is the
very
biggest
true.
to be thankful
So
for. But
true. You're right.
um but I am thankful for a lot of things because guess what? There are people out there that don't have that possibility.
No,
So
they
keep
don't.
that in mind.
And maybe they're not well or whatever. We pray for everyone. That's how we feel about things. Steve and I both stand on faith. And yeah, it's a good thing to do. You know what I was craving the other day? Two things, Steve, on a different note for a moment. And
Mhm.
these are so easy to freaking make. So that's why I laugh, because I could make my own strawberry shortcake very easily with yellow cake. I skip the steps. I'll use yellow box cake mix, real whipped cream, real whipped cream. I'll get strawberry jam in the center layer. I'll make my real whipped cream from scratch, and I'll put real strawberries on the top.
Mm.
Delish. Sometimes I'll do strawberry banana cake. That's quite good too.
That's a good one. Strawberry
Yeah.
banana, that's a hit. That's a win-win any time, day or night. I mean, you can't go wrong with that one.
And the other
Um,
thing I was craving was a chocolate, like 13 by 9 cake. I was craving. I didn't eat it. Excuse me 1 second. Let me
mhm.
see what that is or who that is. I'm recording right now, but I'll call you back shortly. Bye. Sorry, everybody. That's life. Life happens. The other thing that I was craving, 13 by 9 chocolate cake, box cake mix, again with the real whipped cream. There's nothing like real whipped cream. Takes a minute. So what? The freshness of it. If you can't do that, you don't like to do that, you always have Cool Whip. But to me, the best is the real whipped cream. Just simple stuff, not elaborate.
Mm-mm. No, there's no. Everybody thinks in order to have so, oh, you got to spend. Oh, that's too expensive. It's going to cost me a lot of money to. No, not necessarily. When I go to, not everybody likes it, but you can go to the store and keep in mind, you already know this, cheesecakes can be pricey,
Heck yes.
but you can make one for about a third, maybe half the price. It's not that hard.
Truth.
I mean, no, you're not going to get the same exact clone that you buy. In some ways, I think you may actually get better because you made it yourself.
And cream cheese notoriously goes on sale, the bar ones, around the holiday season. So if you're going to stock up on cream cheese, you could actually freeze it. It lasts between 3 and 6 months in the freezer.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I
Okay.
agree with you about the cheesecake. You could do it in no bake style too. There's so
Done it.
many recipes out there.
I've done a couple of no bake cheesecakes. I did a chocolate one year. And then I also did this one I would love to recreate again. I did like a pistachio one. Um, what I did is I made the cheesecake, you know, the and I took pistachio jello instant pudding, backed off the milk by a half a cup, and I incorporated that into the cheesecake,
Oh,
and then I
wow.
just and then I just put it in my graham cracker crust, added my whipped topping, put it in the fridge, let it cool, or let it congel or whatever. Couple of hours, 3 hours, boom, cheesecake done. That's it.
Steve, that sounds like it practically tastes like almost like an almond flavor because the
It would be.
pistachio, right? It has a similar taste.
Yes,
Wow.
it did.
Very, very nice.
In fact,
And
it did.
go ahead.
In fact, it did have that almond-ish flavor to it. Now that
There
you
you go. There you go.
pistachio does
And
have
of
that.
course, if you're the hostess with the mostest and people ask you, and listen carefully when they do, could I bring you something over for whatever, for the meal? Don't say no. If they want to bring dessert, sure.
Bring it.
Dessert is always a good choice, for
Yeah.
them to figure out. It'd be like a little bit of a smorgasbord of everybody's collaboration.
Hmm. Yeah. Whenever I go to a person's home, family, friends, if I'm invited, I will always bring a little something with me. I don't want to just show up.
Yeah.
No, because if I show up empty-handed, maybe not the case in their eyes, but I don't know. I just feel out of
It's
place.
good manners. It's very polite to
Right.
I never show up in someone's home unless I have something,
I
bring a
mean, it
gift.
can be a pie
Mhm.
or a cake, something,
Right.
just a bag of chips. I hate to be that simple about it, but bring something.
No, no, simple is good. But if somebody took that minute and specifically asked you, don't say no. Say thank you. Maybe dessert. They want to feel like a part of it. So, yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, this was a good fun.
it was fun.
Yeah. So now people have an idea that you, you've got several avenues you can go down in order to have Thanksgiving. And you don't necessarily have to go the turkey ham route. You can do
Oh,
like another one that I failed to mention that is very good if you want to go the step. Cornish game hen. That's another
yum.
right. Now what's nice about Cornish game hen is it's small and it's a one serving ordeal. And when you're done, you're done. There's no clean there. Are you just
Delicious,
throwing it?
and you feel like special. Oh, you have your own little Cornish game hen. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Right. So anyway, guys, there's your ideas for the Thanksgiving holiday. Don't panic. Don't be in despair. Oh, what am I going to
No
do?
pressure at
You-
all. Enjoy that
No,
day.
just
Absolutely.
remember work around your budget and you can have whatever you want.
Right.
There is no set, it has to be this way.
No.
Nobody said that. So, you're always welcome to change it up, make it what you like. Okay. Well, Jan, they'll see us back again real
Well,
soon,
thanks for
hopefully.
having me here.
You're welcome. And you know, I hope everybody has a great, rest of your weekend.
And we'll
And
be thinking of everyone on Thanksgiving. So thank you for being our wonderful viewers. Thank you.
that's right. We really appreciate it. But I hope everybody has a good weekend, upcoming holiday. Don't panic. And Janet and I will see you back here next time. Bye.